Hey recruiters and staffing folk. At the time of making this video, the clock is starting to wind down on 2025. Pretty soon it's going to be 2026, and some of you are crushing it, but a whole bunch of you out there are saying stuff like this. It's tough out there. And to that I say, well, yeah. Money is never going to flow to you for no reason. Nothing is ever going to be drop dead easy until you have a repeatable system and proof of concept that you can double down on. You need positioning that works. And sometimes it takes time to get there and figure out what that is. And also, you don't want this to be too easy, because if it was too easy, everybody would do it and there would be no point in doing it anymore. But here's the good news. In this video, I'm going to show you how to win right now, regardless of whether your systems are good or bad. I'm going to show you how to win and also how to put in place the building blocks of your proof of concept, the foundation of your repeatable system. And it's going to be awesome. So why should you care and why should you listen to little old me? Well, here at 7-Figure Staffing, we have been helping firms like yours crush it in the market since 2016. That's the year our own firm was acquired and when we started releasing courses that delivered aha moments for staffing and recruiting entrepreneurs in great abundance. Nowadays, we primarily help with implementation, marketing, and sales. We don't just advise our clients on what to do, we help them to do it by embedding hyper-targeted marketing and sales support that enables our clients to drive new business faster than any other solution in the market. In fact, I checked and there is actually no one else out there that provides holistic solutions like we do that help staffing and recruiting firms accelerate their business development successes with hands-on support. It's been extremely rewarding over these last 8 or 9 years to watch one-person agencies come to us seeking help that are transformed in short order and become 7 or 8-figure agencies and beyond that scale, grow, receive offers of purchase, and live happily ever after. So now, let's talk about you and what you can do today to win right now. Here's how I want you to think about this. Think about a crying baby. This is the mentality I want you to harness. No, you're not going to literally cry. You're just going to adopt about 20% of the crying baby's playbook. See, when a baby cries a lot, does the mom just say, this is annoying, I'm just going to let this one starve? Of course not. That would be a crime. What actually happens is that baby gets the milk first, every time. You need to harness the power of the crying baby. Be that crying baby today. Pick up the phone and start crying, metaphorically. So what do I actually mean by this? I mean ruthless persistence. Ruthless, okay? Indefatigable, unending, persistent. That's you. That's your identity. So you might be thinking, isn't that going to be annoying? Answer, no. What it's going to do is demonstrate for your prospect the fact that you are a competitor who does not lose. You are not a loser. You do not get discouraged by mere rejection. You do not lose in the game of survival. The crying baby always thrives more than the one who is content with being put in the corner. The crying baby gets healthier and grows stronger. It gets all the attention. The crying baby inspires action. It doesn't just stand for delays. It doesn't accept anyone's excuses. It doesn't care if you think you're busy. It doesn't care if other things take priority. The crying baby becomes the priority, always. Because the only way to stop the baby from crying is to give it what it wants. Well, guess what? That could be you getting what you want. Seriously. You're only a few baby games away from getting what you want. Here's the more operable principle. Choose who you want to work with and work with them whether they like it or not. Don't give them a choice, okay? You will win some massive accounts and you have absolutely zero to lose. You have tons to gain. And this is how your proof of concept and system can get built. Through this process, you can learn how your prospects like to be sold. You can learn about the pains that they really care about and will pay for right now to get medicated. And this will help you tighten your positioning. And prospects will cross over to clients if your positioning is better than whatever else is in the market. So now let's talk practical. What does it look like to be the crying baby in recruiting? So here's what it looks like. It means when you send that email and don't get a response, you follow up. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. As many times as it takes. It means when you call and they say, call me back next quarter, you call them back next week. And it means you don't let their brush off become your belief system. Every no is just an unripe yes. But remember that a yes never sounds like an explicit yes. A yes, in real world terms, is typically a series of incremental steps forward. So let's break this down into steps. Step 1, pick your top 25 dream clients, write their names down, commit, lock them in as your non-negotiable pursuit list. Number 2, hit them from every angle: phone, email, LinkedIn, voicemail drops, even direct mail if you have to. And then number 3, track your touches. Okay, don't leave it to memory. Have a system. Even like a simple spreadsheet is perfectly fine. Number 4, don't stop until they acknowledge you. Okay, acknowledgement is the bridge to opportunity. But here's the twist. Inside of those top 25, you're gonna have your top 10. And the rules are different for the top 10. So for those 10, you don't just follow up. You work with them whether they like it or not. So that means you anticipate their orders. That means you fill roles they haven't even given you yet, but you know that they need them because you've studied their hiring history, their job postings, their team growth, and even who's leaving their company. So you walk into conversations not asking, do you have an opening, but instead saying something like, hey, I've seen you've hired 3 analysts in the last 18 months, and I've got the next one ready. Or, I noticed your head of compliance just left. Well, I've got 2 compliance officers on my bench who could step in right now. See, you're not waiting, you're predicting, you're not asking, you're showing up with solutions before they even articulate the problem. That's the crying baby at the next level. Not just crying louder, but crying smarter. Not just demanding attention, but forcing action by being inevitable. So this is how you don't give them a choice. This is how you become their go-to partner before they even realize they need you. And let me tell you why this works so well. Decision makers are busy. Their world is full of noise. Everyone wants a piece of their time. So when you show up again and again, and then you take it a step further and start solving problems they didn't even put on the table yet, you become impossible to ignore. You become an extension of their business. They might not admit it right away. They might not give you the contract the first time you pitch, but eventually they cave because deep down they know you see them clearly, more clearly than anyone else, and you become trustworthy, credible, and reliable by showing up no matter what. And once they let you in, even on a small project, you've got leverage. You've cracked the door. And from there, you can swing it wide open. Here's the real game. You don't want to be a recruiter who waits for job orders like a dog waits for scraps, okay? You want to be the one placing yourself at the head of the table. You want to be the one saying, look, I know what you need. I've already got it solved. And when you operate like that, you stop being a vendor. You stop being a commodity. You become a partner. You become inevitable. And guess what? Partners get paid and vendors get ghosted. And while you're doing this, while you're pushing into your top 25, while you're embedding yourself into your top 10, you're building your proof of concept without even really realizing it. Because here's what's happening under the surface. You're testing your pitch, right? You're testing your market. You're learning objections in real time. You're refining your positioning with every touch point. You're learning precisely what your ideal prospect cares about, and you're testing ways to package your solutions. And when one of those accounts finally bites, that becomes your model. That becomes your case study. And that becomes the foundation you can point to and say, see, this works. This is repeatable. And now you're not just hustling. Now you're scaling. Now you have a case study to talk about. And now everything just got exponentially easier. And you know what else happens at that point? The game gets really, really fun. But none of this works if you don't flip the switch in your head, okay? You can't tiptoe into this game. You can't like half cry like a baby who doesn't really want to be fed. You've got to cry loud. You've got to cry long. You've got to cry until the market has no choice but to notice you. And that doesn't mean being unprofessional. That doesn't mean being sloppy. It means being unrelenting. It means being willing to show up again and again until the door opens. Because here's the truth. The crying baby always wins. The silent baby fades into the background. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with today. Write down your top 25 dream clients. Circle the 10 that matter the most. Decide that for those 10, you're going to work with them whether they like it or not. You're going to anticipate their needs. You're going to pitch them people they haven't asked for yet. You're going to become impossible to ignore. Track your progress, every call, every email, every pitch. Do this for 90 days, just 90 days at first, and tell me you're not in a different place by the end of it. So look, 2025 is starting to wind down here, right? 2026 is right around the corner. The market is not going to hand you wins. That is not going to happen. But the crying baby is going to get the milk, always. That is the principle that works in every single economy. So you got to be the crying baby, be louder, be smarter, be impossible to ignore. And I promise you, if you take this seriously, you'll win now. And you'll also be laying the foundation to win for the rest of your life. And that's it for today. So if you want help putting this info into practice, if you want someone to come alongside you, make sure your crying baby energy actually converts into systems and into clients and into revenue. That's what we do at 7-Figure Staffing. But whether you work with us or not, do this, commit, cry louder, be impossible to ignore, because the crying baby always gets the milk.